Looking for great quality clothing and prices to suit your budget? Then head on down to OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique, located at 94 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. We offer clothing and accessories for everything from brunch, clubbing, showers, and so much more. We are the sole distributors for Savage Black Hair Shampoo Dye, your 5-minute hair color solution. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or call us at 473-4OCA or 489-SOCA. OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique for unbelievable finds.
And we are back for the second game of this doubleheader, of course, on a Monday night here in the Marvin Lee Stadium. The GA Super Cup. It is a Group A clash. The Central Jaguars versus the Western Eagles. And it is, you could say, a top of the table clash. Of course, the Western Eagles perfect so far with 3 out of 3 wins. And the Central Jaguars sit second with a win and a loss, of course, in their last encounter. These two teams, the Western Eagles did come out on top 4-2 winners. We'll quickly run through the starting lineups for you here. Of course, the Central Jaguars in post, you have Tor Fletcher. In the back line, we have Danzel Janek, Chad Alonso, Tajay Commission, and Kareem Creighton. In the midfield, of course, Mark Robinson, who is up there in the goal scoring charts, just behind Nathan Lewis of the Maloney Mavericks. Inside Dante Cooper and Jabari Johnson. And up front, for the Jaguars, we have Caleb Boyce, Kevin Connell, and Kasim Ballantyne. For the Western Eagles, of course, in the goal post, we have the experienced Marlon Carrington wearing the number 22. For the Eagles, we have Jelani Cielto, Raquel Morris, and Shaquille Phillip. In the back line, in the midfield, Shaquille Long, Okechi Springer, Kareem Batiste, Adley, and Shaquille Huggins alongside Kaleem Young in the midfield, and Glenn Walker leading the line for the Western Eagles. So we do expect this one to be a cracker. The Central Jaguars know that they came out underneath the Western Eagles in the first encounter between these two teams. But the Central Jaguars will be wanting revenge, of course. And it does promise to be a cracker. 2 quality teams with some quality players out on the field, of course. So we are looking forward to this one as we await the kickoff. Of course, the officials for us in this game, referee Joel Davidson, first assistant Michael Spencer, second assistant Asher Lester, and fourth official Marlon Person. Joel Davidson, of course, blows the whistle and we're off. And the Central Jaguars, of course, only playing 2 games thus far, 1 less than the Western Eagles. So mathematically, they still can finish on the top of this table if they are to come out victors on this one. They still have to play the Sawa Steelers once again. And so if they are able to come out with a victory here and beat the Steelers, then there is a possibility that they can finish on top of this Group A. If they are, however, they do have to score a good bit of goals and boost up that goal difference, because the Eagles do have a goal difference of 6 while the Jaguars still on 2. So you could say a lot to be played for. Of course, the Western Eagles, they know that they are already through. That doesn't mean that there is an excuse to be complacent, but definitely not much pressure on them, knowing that they have already booked their spot in the quarterfinals. So We'll see how that affects the play. Lack of pressure on these players. And it has been absolutely brilliant so far, the GA Super Cup. We have seen some great football. I've seen some great goals, some standout players as well. Some of them on the field here right now, likes of Kareem Matisse, Mark Robertson. So we do expect this boy on the ball here. Dante Cooper's also a great player, and he plays a nice ball through into Jabari Johnson. An early chance for the Central Jaguars. It's inside it. Just didn't have enough on that one to trouble the Western Eagle defense, and Marlon Carrington did let go of the ball. It was a bit risky, but did the job in the end, and possession is actually back here with the Central Jaguars, but Joel Davidson actually signals for a free kick for the Western Eagles. And if it's one man that the Central Jaguars will be keeping an eye out on, it is Kareem Batiste, number 12. Look out for him. He's very quick, very powerful, and he does seem to find spaces, and they're going to have to keep an eye on him at the Central Jaguars if they really want to contain this Western Eagles, because he really is a bright spark in this team. And here he is on the ball now, Kareem Batiste. He runs very quickly, very powerful, but possession given over here to Kevon Connell, who plays it out wide, and he's steaming down that right flank there, but can't get the pace to reach to the ball there. Can the Central Jaguars, man, and possession is back with the Eagles. It's a throw-in for them. Here is Kareem Batiste. He controls very well. Possession in the midfield for the Eagles. Here is Shaquille Phillip. Very composed and smart centre back, I would say. Back to his goalkeeper, Marlon Carrington, who has been around the football scene for a good while. He is a very good goalkeeper, known for his athleticism, has made some big saves, of course, the former Alcons man. So definitely have some experience in the back there, do the Western Eagles. And it's just some composed play here from the Eagles, just keeping possession. It's early in the game. No need to do anything too rash, and that ball is spread nicely out to the near side. Shaquille Phillip plays it forward. That's a decent looking ball, but controlled very nicely as well. Possession still here with the Western Eagles. They have been keeping the ball for a long time. It's a handball given away. Joel Davidson spotted that one there. And the Central Jaguars have an opportunity now here to rebuild and get some possession under their belt themselves. Here's Mark Robertson in the midfield for the Central Jaguars. He sees the pass and he plays it long over the top. Johnson is on the end of it, but Carrington saw it nicely and he releases his team. Here's Captain Shaquille Phillip driving forward. He himself plays a long ball over the top, but it's well read. Nicely chested down. Robertson did well to get the second ball there. And that's a poor giveaway there from Connell. But it's one. And here are the Eagles driving forward here, and that's a convincing clearance there. Carrington, composed goalkeeping play. He's way off his line there, is Marlon Carrington. But he seems to know what he's doing. And that's a loose touch in the midfield there. Robertson is able to gather it. And they can settle the ball here. Can the Central Jaguars? Tor Fletcher getting his first touch of the game. Fatima boy. There's a young keeper, but does have a lot of talent. We have seen some of him in, of course, the Gateway setup. He has been present and he has been impressing as Tor Fletcher. So very interesting to see what he brings to the plate today. Actually, the two goalkeepers on different ends of the pitch. One who's been around for so long with so much experience, and a young bright star in the making. So we'll definitely see how the two people at two different ages really perform on the stage today for their two teams. And only 6 minutes into this one, no clear-cut chances as yet. Was Jabari Johnson getting that chance earlier on, but we do expect the game to pick up. And that's a nice looking ball on the inside there. This could be an opportunity for the Jaguars, but it's well defended. And it's cleared out. Here's Kareem Batiste, who controls well, and this could be problems if he gets through. Look at the pace again of Kareem Batiste. We spoke about it. Danger here for the Jaguars. They have a lot of bodies back though. Decide to cut it back. And still in possession here, the Eagles. It's laid off once again. Will he have a first time crack? No. It's played, and in the end, it's good defense. They wanted a free kick there, the Eagles, but they're not going to get it. I think it was Shaquille Long who thought he was fouled, and that ball gets through there. An opportunity again for the Jaguars. Cooper is in the middle, but that was just too far ahead of him, and the Eagles are able to clear and get away the danger. And that's some nice play there from Kaleem Young, just keeping the possession. And again, the Jaguars on the prowl. Oh, and that's a lovely tackle from Shaquille Phillip, and it's a corner kick, but that's some excellent defense, excellent recovery. It was Kevon Cornell who was getting down the left-hand side there, but Shaquille Phillip wasn't having any of it. As we see that replay again, Cornell bursting past Shaquille Phillip, but the experience and the class of Phillip showing through there, and he gets up immediately to regroup and get back in his defensive position. That's excellent defense. Nevertheless, it's the first corner of the game, and it goes to the Central Jaguars, and it does look like it's going to be, well, actually, I think they're having some problems finding the ball here. It's gone down in the drain, but eventually Tajay Commission is able to get it. And it is a corner kick here, and it is going to be Commission to come across and take it. A long delay for this one. Actually, it's not Commission, but it swung in. Well, easily cleared away. Here's Kareem Batiste again, trying to lead a counter-attack for the Eagles. Will he find that pass out wide? He decides to go short. Here's Shaquille Long, who actually didn't start last game, but he got the start this time. He came on as a substitute in the encounter against the Sawa Steelers last week. He's definitely gotten a nod from his head coach, Alistair Ramdu, for tonight's fixture. Ball given away. Johnston tries to get it back, but it's launched up into the air. And again, cleared away by the Jaguars. And this time Johnson can control, but again, he's under some heavy pursuit by the Eagles. The ball just being played back and forth in the midfield really here. And again, but Cornell finally takes it out to the traffic. Eventually gets it under control there. Has options. Dante Cooper is wide. That's a strike actually, but never really was that threatening, was it? The ball played out here. And it's dropped off nicely. And it's out of play for a Central Jaguars throw-in. Here's Mark Robertson. Of course, he'll be looking to add to his goal tally. Has been on some tremendous goals going forward. He's easily brushed off by Shaquille Phillip, but I think he was actually hitting his face there. He's on the ground, but play is continuing, and it is Kareem Batiste, and he's driving into the Central Jaguars penalty area, but easily cut out there by Danzel Janek. Mark Robertson is actually still on the ground. I think Joel Davidson finally coming across, but seems to be on his feet. I don't think it was anything intentional. It was there, but definitely was on the receiving end of some sort of knock there was Robertson, but good to see him back on his feet. And Joel Davidson just making sure that all is well. The physios are still coming on. And really has been a relatively tame start to this game here. The Central Jaguars, I think, have been on the front foot. There has been a lot of back and forth ball in the midfield, if you will, but the Jaguars have been getting into that attacking third. Haven't been able to really trouble Marlon Carrington in the post there, but Tor Fletcher has not yet been called into action. But as it grows, you do expect the likes of Kareem Batiste to get into the game. We have already seen some of his pace, but credit to the Jaguars, they have been able to restrict any chances so far. Of course, in the last game between the Sawa Steelers and the Western Eagles, the Eagles did have a very slow start, and It was just simple defensive mistakes really that allowed the Western Eagles to get into the game by the Central Jaguars and by the Sour Steelers rather. So the Jaguars will be mindful that they can't really make any mistakes here because of the threat that some of these Western Eagles players possess. Here is Danzel, who launches it forward. It's a decent ball, but I think he's offside. There's Jabari Johnson. It was a Tajay Commission was looking. Maybe he should have left it for him, but probably was a lack of communication. And it is going to be a free kick here for the Eagles, which is taken quickly by Shaquille Phillip. Here is Shaquille Long, has a lot of space. Decides to play a ball in field. It's a nice build-up play here by the Western Eagles, just building their possession stats really. Here's Kareem Batiste. Shaquille Long, that's a nice pass into Phillip. Nice played out wide into Okechi Springer, but it's well read by Tajay Commission and it's played in field, and that 1-2 was on, but I think it was easily read there. And they deal with it very nicely there to the Western Eagles. Yeah, it was a very nice idea, but it was pretty predictable. Cleared out again by Danzel. Oh, and Connell was bodied off of it there by Shaquille Phillip. I think he was maybe looking for a foul, but that's a nice ball out wide there. And he keeps it under control very well there, does Kaleem Young. When it went out for a throw, which he took quickly. And Robertson with some good work in the midfield there. He plays it now into Connell. Rolls all the way through to Danzel, who drops it off to his centre-back partner, Kareem Creighton. Here is Danzel once again. Into Mark Robertson. A very uniformed Central Western Eagles rather backline. You can see that they are well drilled. That backline is almost like a ruler. All the players in line with their centre-back captain there, Shaquille Phillip. So you can definitely tell that Alistair Ramdu has been instructing his defense. And it's well read there by Johnson. Could be problems here for the Eagles. Can he get his strike away? And it's a decent strike, but Alan Carrington with a good save there as well. It was Asim Ballantyne who got that strike away on his left foot. But good work initially by Johnson to win the ball back. Here's Okechi Springer. That was a difficult one there, but the ball actually stays in here. And it's well received. It was Glenn Walker who received it there. Shaquille Long tried to play it through, but Robertson was right on his tail. Here is Shaquille Huggins. That's a lovely ball out wide. What can they conjure up here, the Western Eagles? It swung in early, but Danzel is there, and he has enough time to settle that ball and look for a pass. And look for a pass he does. That's brilliant. Oh, and I think Johnson did handle that one. Oh, Joel Davidson actually let it go. I definitely thought that it was a handle. Marlon Carrington comes out and launches it upfield. And Creighton with a header back. Robertson with a nice header. Just to calm down the football. That's good play from the Central Jaguars. Here's Creighton once again. Into Johnson. Dante Cooper turns nicely and plays a nice little ball there into Connell. What can he do here? Can he find the ball nicely inside? Oh, Marlon Carrington. Well, yeah, down on it. It actually looked as if it rolled through his legs, but in the end, he did really well. Did Carrington. Here's Kareem Batiste. Tries to play it first time through the legs, but eventually gets through again. He's using his pace here. As Kareem Batiste slips it through Glenn Walker, but Creighton did very well there to read the danger. And that is the danger that they possess, the Western Eagles. The pace that Kareem Batiste has out on that left wing really has a job cut out for him. There does the Central Jaguar man. And he will definitely test his quality to see whether he's able to contain Kareem Batiste. Has done a decent job thus far. And that is a throw in there for the Central Jaguars. Here is Connell. Into Danzel, over to Creighton, who's looking for a pass here. Danzel once again. There's been a lot of slow build up in this one. Hasn't been like quick lightning passing as yet. That's some nice skill there from Dante Cooper. Shake of the body. And he's trying to make something happen here. Tries to play it through, but again, it's well watched by the Western Eagles defense. Robertson trying to thread one through. Yeah, Shaquille Long plays it out to Kareem Batiste. Tries to put down some trickery, but he's well watched in the end by Chad Alonso. It is a free kick there. Glenn Walker doing well to get out of a tight space and come out with possession for his team. Long takes it quickly. I think he was actually fouled there. Yeah, definitely a foul from Cornell on his opponent. No catchy Springer. There's a long way to travel to get that ball. Wasn't too happy with that one. There's the Western Eagles man, but I don't think there was much malintent in it. Joel Davidson just settling him a little bit there. Cornell letting him know and take it down just a little bit. Definitely don't think that he had any intentions of injuring his opponent whatsoever there. Shaquille Huggins on the receiving end of that foul. Long plays it forward. There's nice hold-up play from Walker. It was dropped very deep, almost Harry Kane-like. And a nice ball through from Huggins. Kareem Batiste is there, and he beats. Oh, and wow. And that is beautiful from the Western Eagles. Tor Fletcher came off of his line, but Kareem Batiste was very clever and was composed in his finish. And that's a beautiful goal from the Western Eagles. And we spoke about the threat of Kareem Batiste. It was a lovely play from Huggins, who played a nicely dinked ball through the middle. Kareem Batiste just charging through the midfield. A lovely delicate touch over the keeper and a lovely delicate touch into the back of the net. And it's 1-0 to the Western Eagles. And that's the threat that they possess. We said you can't give them an inch here because they will take a mile. And take a mile they have. And they lead 1-0 here to the Western Eagles early on in the first half. And really is a tough one there on Tor Fletcher. It is really difficult. That is the first bits of action that he's really faced. And that is the tough thing of being a goalkeeper, that sometimes when you haven't been called into action early on, it's so difficult to get into the game. You really, as a keeper, have to be on your toes sometimes. And he did try to come out to close the angle there, did Fletcher, but Kareem Batiste was very clever in his play. And it is what it is. Nevertheless, the Jaguars still in this one, only a 1-0 lead. And they do have the quality on the pitch to get back into this one. So we do expect to see a response. Of course, Damian Cooper and Nyron Jones will be instilling motivation into their players. And that's a nice ball over there. Tajay Commission receives it out here on the left wing. Can he find that killer ball on the inside? He's dancing. But he can't find the ball. It's well cleared away again by the Eagles. And Creighton retrieves it. Johnson. That's a nice little dip of the shoulder there. Can he find a ball on the inside? He looks long and it's decent. And it does beat both of the players. And it should be... Oh, that's actually good work there. And that should be a foul. Yeah, definitely Joel Davidson giving that one there. It was Caleb Boyce working hard out on the right wing. But in the end, his hard work wasn't rewarded. Nevertheless, good to see some eagerness, especially from attackers. Marlon Carrington rolling that one very dangerously forward. Boyce was still lurking. And that's a nice flick on there from Batiste. But it's actually a foul. I think it's Alonso on the far side committing that foul there on Kareem Batiste. And Shaquille Long launches it forward, but it's well watched by Danzel, who plays it forward into Valentine. It's dropped off nicely, and that's some nice footwork there, played into the midfield. Here's Dante Cooper looking to turn. Decides to go back to Creighton, who's looking for options. And finds a nice ball out wide, but it's just too high there. And in the end, it comes to nothing for the Central Jaguars. And it is a throw-in for the Western Eagles. Flicked on once again by Kareem Batiste. It's good hold-up play there. Here is Shaquille Huggins, the provider of the goal for the Western Eagles. And here is the scorer of the goal, Kareem Batiste. Shaquille Phillip into Okechi Springer. What can he conjure up here with Springer? He's driving through, but he's actually well defended there. I think it's Johnson who got back and did some good defensive work. Walker with a nice deft touch off into Huggins, but he's given it away. And it is Connell who plays it in field, and that's well read, but gets a lucky break there. And it could be Boyce on the inside here, but in the end, Shaquille, the Western Eagles defense do well enough to sort it all out. And here is Phillip out to Springer. It was a loose touch there from Springer. He showed a lot of the ball to Jabari Johnson, who's one man you don't want to show too much of the ball of. He does have a lot of pace, and he does have quality in the final third. So definitely don't want to give him an inch. And that one goes all the way through to Tor Fletcher. As we pass the 23-minute mark in this first half, of course, of the GA Super Cup. Group A clash between the Central Jaguars and the Western Eagles. And that's a nice ball over the top. And he is offside. There's Mark Robertson. Thought he timed his run to perfection. It was a decent ball over the top from Dante Cooper. The two midfielders trying to link up there, but unfortunately, the orange and yellow spoiled their party. But yes, the Western Eagles, of course, sitting on top of Group A, being perfect thus far. 3 out of 3 wins. The Central Jaguars second with 1 win and 1 loss. And it is an important game for the Jaguars, actually, because if they do win this and go on to win the other fixture against the Sour Steelers, they can finish on top. And here is Jabari Johnson. I spoke about his pace, and can he use it effectively here? He dances again. I think he ran out of ideas, and Johnson just couldn't make up his mind in the final third there, and it gave the Western Eagles just enough time to recover on Marlon Carrington. Enough time to gather, and it's played through. Kareem Batiste, look at the burst of pace from him. Oh, and that is some brave goalkeeping there from Tor Fletcher, but it did the job in the end. The Central Jaguars defense covered him very well, and they released their team. Here is Dante Cooper, who plays it through. That's a nice ball into Boyce. Can he drive here? He has Johnson on the right, and he slips it through, but it's just far behind him. Okechi Springer had enough time to cover. End-to-end stuff here. A chance high up. Joel Davidson actually blowing his whistle. I think Tor Fletcher has picked up some sort of injury. We hope it's nothing serious. But he is on the ground. He's stretching. The physios are at hand, and they have decided to run onto the pitch. But as he does receive that attention, which we hope is successful, yes, the Central Jaguars, if they are to come out on top on this one, it takes them to 6 points. And of course, this is the Eagles' final game of the group stage. But the Jaguars still do have one more against the Sour Steelers. So if they are able to win this and that one, they do have a chance to finish on top of Group A, rather. So they would want to be putting their all in this one, so that maybe they can get that first place finish. Of course, as I have mentioned earlier, the Eagles already through. The Jaguars haven't booked their spot in the quarterfinals as yet. And maybe they would want to do that here today, because if they do win today, they can do so. The Sour Steelers, though, if they are able to beat the Jaguars in the next fixture, They will be tied on points if the Jaguars win this game. Lose this game, sorry. And they do have an opportunity to go through as well, but their goal difference, the Steelers, is very inferior. So it's going to be a steep hill for the Steelers if they want to qualify for this quarterfinal. So the Jaguars are in a decent position still, but they would want to finish strong and send a message into their opponent to the quarterfinals that they are a force to be reckoned with. So very important that they do put out a good performance and try to get the 3 points here, the Central Jaguars. And Tor Fletcher seems to be okay, which is always a good sign, and Joel Davidson decides to resume play. A little fumble on the ball there, but they work it out in the end, and the Eagles can regroup. That's a nice ball played through. It's Huggins who plays it out wide to Batiste. Good strength there from Shaquille Huggins. Long is in a lot of space here, and he finds him. Here is Phillip. Patient play here from the Eagles. Glenn Walker. And here's Mark Robertson driving through the midfield. It's played out wide. Can they find a ball inside? It's a decent ball. Carrington is under it. Oh, and he was under some pressure there from Robertson, but is able to gather in the end. Marlon Carrington just telling him to be careful there a little bit. But it was a decent ball in there from the right hand side. And Phillip. Goes Cameron Boyce out on that right hand side there with the cross. Oh, and there's the pace again of Kareem Batiste, who beats his man, and it takes a big touch, but he still has control over it. He's going to goal here as Kareem Batiste, but he runs out of pitch. I actually think that's good defense there from, I believe it was Creighton, who came across just to put some pressure on him, making Kareem Batiste make that extra touch. So that is good defense. Wise actually from the man. He knows that he probably doesn't have the pace of Kareem Batiste, but playing mind games with him really, and it was successful in the end. Here's Boyce. That's some nice play out on the right wing. There's a good, well worked here's Cornell, but the Eagles able to intercept it. Again, and Carrington on the ball. The distribution has been pretty good so far. Marlon Carrington, long plays it nicely there. Into Glenn Walker. Here's Kareem Batiste. Shaquille Huggins over to Phillip. All the way back to Marlon Carrington. The Western Eagles have been playing very mature football. They haven't been forcing it forward really. And they have had possession in the back. They have been knocking it around very nicely, using the centre backs, using the wing backs, using even Marlon Carrington, who's on the ball now. So it has been pretty impressive thus far from them. After the Jaguars did have the better start in the first few minutes of the game, but they just weren't able to really threaten the Western Eagles. Johnson did have some good chances, but they came to nothing in the end. And that's a decent ball, but Johnson again working very hard and keeping possession of the ball. He plays it nicely there into Tajay Commission. Here is Creighton. Into Cooper. Commission. Cooper took a little too long in it there, and he was pickpocketed by Shaquille Huggins. And here is Kareem Batiste, who himself took a little long on the ball there, which allowed the Central Jaguars to get back possession. That's a nice ball out there from Dancel into Caleb Boyce. I think he wanted the early ball across there, did Jabari Johnson, and it's a nice overlapping run here. Dancel working very hard. Can he find the ball in? And still in play here, is it? Jabari Johnson kept it in very well, and he puts it right back into the fray, but really wasn't a dangerous enough ball, and it's easily cleared away by Huggins, who has had an excellent game thus far. He's been box to box really, winning back possession in the midfield, providing the assist, and just there you're seeing his defensive qualities as well, as Kamis Young thrusts it back in here into Creighton. Here is Walker, who plays it through to Kareem Batiste, who charges it down, forced a little wider than he may have wanted to, but he has options in the middle, and it's outside of the boot. Played in nicely. Walker actually gets possession, but it's cleared away by Robertson. And Shaquille Long shifts it onto his left foot, has a pipe, but again it's blocked by Robertson. Good defensive work from him. Cooper, and the Central Jaguars can counter-attack here. It's Connell. He has options left and took a little long there, but the chance is still there. It's a nice ball played through. Connell is here. He's onside. It's flicked back here for Johnson. I think they played with their foot a little too much there, the Central Jaguars, because that was a genuine opportunity. It was a nice ball through from Dante Cooper. And I think they actually overplayed it a little bit there, did the Central Jaguars. Complicated it. Nevertheless, it is a good response as you see it again here. Connell just ruling it back there for his teammate, but in the end, it was a difficult chance. Here is Philip. About 13 minutes remaining of normal time here in the Marvin Lee Stadium of the first half of this encounter with the Central Jaguars versus the Western Eagles. Of course, the Eagles leading 1-0 through a goal from Kareem Batiste, the star man in this Western Eagles team, who actually did finish off the last game in the goal because their goalkeeper, Kern Caesar, did pick up an injury. Kareem Batiste spent about the last 15 minutes of the game in the post, and I think he did receive the MVP for that game. He did also get on the score sheet, so he's in a lot of form as the Western Eagles man. And here's Shaquille Long. And again, that's a nice ball. That's beautiful control from Huggins, who sees beautifully. Oh, that's a lovely ball from Shaquille Huggins. And the flag stayed down, and this is actually really weird play. And oh, that's actually great goalkeeping from Tor Fletcher. Made a lot of saves there. And in the end, it's cleared away. And that's some brave goalkeeping from Tor Fletcher, actually. I thought for some reason the flag went up. There was a lot of slow running, but Fletcher stayed on his feet, played to the whistle. That's actually good play from him. Another save there. Just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And he did well to keep it at 1-0, did Fletcher. It really looked as if the whistle had gone because the Central Jaguars defense absolutely fell asleep. Fletcher was all on his own, which produced the brilliance, which shined through. But the Eagles will be disappointed at that one because that was a genuine opportunity. But nevertheless, they are back on the ball here. Possession given away here is Cornell. Driving forward, but the ball went out of play. I think it was Caleb Boyce again trying to charge down that right wing for the Jaguars. Here is Cornell. Huggins into Walker. Oh, he's immediately closed down there, but it's actually a foul. Kaleem Young drawing that foul there. He was in possession. It was Kaleem Young. He was immediately swarmed by 3 Central Jaguars players, but was fouled in the process. And it is going to be a free kick here for the Western Eagles. Very far out. I don't expect them to shoot, but it looks as if Kareem Batiste is lining this one up. That left foot of his, really far out, so it'll be interesting to see what is produced here. It's actually Philip who strikes it, but it's straight into the blue wall of Central Jaguars players. A bit disappointing there from Philip. Never really thought that there would have been a threat. That was miles out from Tor Fletcher. It'll take something a little more special than that to beat him. That's a nice touch from Batiste into Huggins. And again, here is Dante Cooper into Cornell, who has space. Can he find that pass through? And again, it's very slow from Cornell. He had an opportunity to slip in Robertson there, who looked a bit disappointed. Here is Commission. That's a nice driving run from Robertson again, calling for it, but it's lost out again to the frustration of Mark Robertson. And the Eagles gain back possession. Oh, and that was a risky challenge from Robertson. He was a bit frustrated because he really thought that those two balls should have been played through to him, and just trying to work hard and win back the ball, but doesn't look like that's too good for the Western Eagles, man. There, Robertson. Studs were up there, a little bit too eager, as we see it again here. Yeah, well, a bit rash there. Joel Davidson not issuing a card, but just talking to Robertson, telling him not to do that again. And here is Shaquille Long. The Eagles back in possession. Nice ball. Here is Shaquille Huggins. Batiste. And this time, the Huggins-Batiste connection didn't quite work out as they have been throughout this first half. Here is Danzel. Commission into Cooper, who miscontrols it, but in the end comes out with the ball. He tried to slip it through a very tight space there to Dante Cooper. Danzel just telling him to come out of the traffic, I think. His captain, of course, Connell. Nicely played ball out wide there. Boyce made a nice run. He's onside as well. He has options in the middle, but Carrington was quick to see the danger, quick off his line, and that's some great goalkeeping. And he thought that it did come off Caleb Boyce, but it is a throw in here for the Central Jaguars. That was much better. A nice ball slipped through and a little more of a threat on the Western Eagles defense. And it is going to be Alonso who's taking it there, awaiting a ball, because that one went into the car park. An opportunity here for the Jaguars. It is a throw-in, but they have committed a lot of bodies forward here of the Jaguars, but almost everybody is behind the ball here for the Western Eagles. Only Glenn Walker isolated on top. Ball swung in there by Danzel, but creatively cleared away by Shaquille Long. Nevertheless, the Jaguars still have possession. Tajay Commission strikes it, but didn't get the connection that he may have wanted, and Carrington watched that one rolled wide. As we see it again here, ball cleared out there by the Jaguars, straight into the feet of Commission. Strikes it, but never really threatened Carrington at all in the post, and it's launched forward. Nobody able to get on the end of it except Tor Fletcher. Here is Creighton into Danzel. Creighton. That's well intercepted there by Kaleem Young, and Creighton launches it forward once again, but again Carrington quickly off his line. Reads the danger very early, does Marlon Carrington. He always seems to be in the right position, does the number 22. And Joel Davidson just checking the ball to see if it's up to scratch, and it isn't. They have received the ball that went out earlier. As we have about 5 minutes remaining here of normal time. In the first half, there haven't been many stoppages other than the injury to Tor Fletcher. And a slight injury as well from the tackle a few moments ago by Mark Robertson, but not too much that has interrupted the flow of the game. Here is Robertson into Creighton. Can the Central Jaguars find a goal here too? Oh, that was actually a decent strike from Robertson, but it was well blocked. He connected nicely. Well won back there by Connell. Here's Robertson. But yes, it'll be interesting to see if the Jaguars can get a goal here before the half, just to give the Eagles something to think about going into the halftime break. It's good work from Johnson, who has had a decent first half. Cooper slips it through here to Tajik Amesiong. Can he get that ball inside the box? He does, but it's well defended again. And this time it was Raquel Morris coming across and doing the defensive work. Cooper slipping in. Amesiong very nicely. Well, I think the latest cross might have wanted to play it first time, but I think it just gave Morris enough time to recover and do the defensive work. Nevertheless, a corner for the Central Jaguars. It's whipped in by Amesiong. It's low and flat, but it beat Shaquille Long on the first post, but it's cleared away. Here's Robertson. Well read and well defended again by the Eagles. There's a throw in on the Central Jaguars. They are ending off this half on a high here, are the Jaguars. Here is Danzel. Floats it over the top. That's a nice ball. Oh, and this time Johnson leaves it for Amesiong. He probably knew it was offside. This time he plays it through, but just weren't on the same wavelength again there with the two Central Jaguars players. And gave Springer enough time to recover, cleared away. And then yet another throw for the Central Jaguars. Here's Connell. Sees the wide pass and plays it out nice to Caleb Boyce, who controls well. Can he get that ball in the box? He decides to dink it in, and oh, was a decent effort, but he was well watched again, and I think it was Morris who just did enough to get the ball away from Ballantyne. Ball again going out into the car park, but this time there is somebody there to retrieve it, so no need to call to the fourth official for any more equipment. And it's thrown in here. Here's Connell. Jaguars really looking to equalize before this halftime break. Here's Danzel, who tried to whip that one in there, but it was easily closed down by Kareem Batiste. Here's Robertson, who plays it through. A lot on that one. Tajik Amesiong has a lot of work to do. I think just wasn't weighted enough. I think Robertson wanted him to run a little earlier, but just weren't on the same wavelength there with the Central Jaguars men. With 1 more minute remaining here of normal time in the first half. Has been a relatively quiet first half, to be completely honest, apart from the goal and a chance from the Eagles where Tor Fletcher put down some goalkeeping brilliance. Central Jaguars have created some chances, but never really threatened the Eagles to the point of worry. But of course, there is another 45 to be played, and there is a lot of quality on the pitch. And that's a nice ball into Ballantyne. Robertson has it in a dangerous position. Can he get a strike away? It's a great save from Carrington. Offside there was Johnson. Oh, but the danger still not averted there, Taji. Oh, and eventually Davidson does give the offside, but it was a nice strike from Robertson there and a nice layoff from Ballantyne. Connected very cleanly, but Carrington with a flying save into a dangerous area. The ball ricocheted, but they're able to get it away. I think they got away because Johnson was offside. But that is the quality that he does possess, Mark Robertson. He's not up on the goal scoring charts for nothing. He does have some shooting boots on him, and you just saw another glimpse of it. But as I did mention earlier, Marlon Carrington is a seasoned goalkeeper, and as a save you do expect him to make, and Joel Davidson doesn't add on any time in this first half, and it is 1-0 to the Western Eagles. Of course, a beautiful goal from Kareem Batiste for the Eagles. Central Jaguars have knocked on the door, but still haven't been able to really threaten the Western Eagles in the final third. Mark Robertson just having a decent chance coming down to the end there, but nevertheless, it is 1-0 as it stands. The Western Eagles will maintain their top spot. Well, they will regardless, but they will increase that points total to 12. But we still do have 45 minutes to be played. And don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you for the second half.
Are you ready for the biggest youth football tournament in Trinidad and Tobago? Over 200 teams, 2,600 male and female players, 6 weekends, more than 100 games, 1 cup and endless opportunities. Republic Cup Youth Football Tournament 2022. Kickstart your dreams. Tournament starts June 4th. To register, visit www.gatewayathletics.com.
Looking for great quality clothing and prices to suit your budget? Then head on down to OC Fashion and Gift Boutique, located at 94 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. We offer clothing and accessories for everything, from brunch, clubbing, showers, and so much more. We are the sole distributors for Savage Black Hair Shampoo Dye, your 5-minute hair color solution. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram, or call us at 473-4OCA or 489-SOCA. OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique for unbelievable finds.
Are you ready for the biggest youth football tournament in Trinidad and Tobago? Over 200 teams, 2,600 male and female players, 6 weekends, more than 100 games, 1 cup and endless opportunities. Republic Cup Youth Football Tournament 2022. Kickstart your dreams. Tournament starts June 4th. To register, visit www.gatewayathletics.com.
So we're here at the Squadron Grounds in Aruka on College Road, where we had the launch of our football academy. We are taking in players from as early as 3 years old, so we have U5 all the way up to U23. We have decided to launch our football academy because we have seen the need to bridge the gap both on and off the field for our local players with the intentions of going abroad on a football scholarship.
Yeah, this morning is another checkbox to cross off as we launch our academy. This academy is a major part of our development program, as we won't have to do the in-depth assessment of getting players into our elite and development programs. This is important for Trinidad and Tobago, as we know the pandemic has really destroyed us. And to be fair, we must thank the parents and the children for having that belief in us with our development and elite programs. So launching the academy is a massive part for us, as we will have the kids that will be moving up into elite and development. We have a lot of plans. As you know, we recently finished our Trinidad and Tobago showcase. Now we are looking to get into other islands to do the same. We will be releasing our dates. We also have later on this year, we have NCE. We have in Pennsylvania, that's in July. We have a USA tour. So it's a lot of things happening here at Gateway Athletics. So it's all about giving these children who has faith in us the opportunity to really and truly live their dream and be seen. So I must commend the idea that is behind it and the team that we have that keeps bringing in great ideas and to be fair, we have executed it well so far and we just have to stick with it and trust the process.
So you can register for our academy. It's open to boys and girls. Registration forms are available on our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Hi guys, I am Coach Denicia. I'm better known as Auntie Denicia. I work with the under 5 team. This is the only football camp that you will get where you see we integrate fun, learning football. Bring all the children down. Let's have fun and let's enjoy ourselves with them. They always enjoy themselves.
Good day everybody, my name is Kevin Williams, Coach Vin. I am with Gateway Athletics, the academy. I'm with the young ones. We are really having an exciting time, we're really enjoying it. The focus of our sessions are really to make sure that the kids have fun, they enjoy it, and they also learn a little bit of football, right? So today we did some beautiful games. We did a nice little musical ball. It's basically musical chairs with the ball where they have to come in and get a ball. We also did red light, green light. A lot of the kids familiar with that. And they had a lot of fun. At the end they did some passing and also some shooting. So this is what we are looking to do. Make sure they have fun, play some games, and also incorporate football. So yeah, you all can see the children. I really enjoy it, trust me. I enjoy these kids and they look like it clearly they're enjoying my company also. So yeah, Gateway Athletics Academy, blessings.
Water. Introducing Come and Get It. Wait. Come and get it, come and get it, come and get it. Much better. Customer service excellence, reliability, home delivery across TNT. Place your orders 77 Water. Join our roster 77 Water. Make life easier. 77 Water. What you waiting for? 77 Water. Our delivery trucks are in your area. Call now.
Come and get it, come and get it, come and get it. Come and get it, come and get it, come and get it. Come and get it, come and get it, come and get it.
Looking for great quality clothing and prices to suit your budget? Then head on down to OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique, located at 94 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. We offer clothing and accessories for everything, from brunch, clubbing, showers, and so much more. We are the sole distributors for Savage Black Hair Shampoo Dye, your 5-minute hair color solution. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram, or call us at 473 for OCA or 489 SOCA. OCA Fashion and Gift Boutique for unbelievable finds.
And we are back here in the second half of this clash between the Jaguars and the Eagles. Was the Eagles leading 1-0 through a goal from Kareem Batiste in the 19th minute. And just to run you through some of the first half stats, of course, both teams having equal attempts, 4 on target as well. 6 attempts with 4 on targets for both teams. So there has been some balance, but I do think that the Eagles have had the more threatening of attempts. Jabari Johnson did have some opportunities, but of course the Eagles did find the back of the net, and there was an opportunity as well for the Eagles, but Tor Fletcher was able to do well in keeping out the ball rather, but there seemed to have been a foul there. Not sure, probably just a flailing arm from Mark Robertson, who himself did have a great opportunity coming down to the end of that first half, drawing a wonderful save from Carrington. Joel Davidson just sorting it all out here. The physios have come onto the pitch, but I don't think that they will be needed. No, actually, it's going to be a drop ball, so there really wasn't a foul. It was just Joel Davidson making sure that there wasn't any injury. Any head injury, I think probably just collected a knock in his face there. Did Shaquille Long. And Robertson plays a nice ball out wide there to Johnson, who's quickly closed down by Springer. Here's Kareem Batiste, but Mark Robertson working hard to get that ball back. Here is Danzel, captain for the Jaguars. Plays a ball through, and it's a nice link-up play, but the Eagles read it. No, that's some good skill there, and he has options wide. Here is Glenn Walker. That's miscontrolled. And Boyce did well to get back and regain possession for his team. Here's Robertson. Lets it roll across his body and plays it into Dante Cooper, who loses out on the ball there, but they get back possession here to the Central Jaguars. Here is Danzel. Plays it into Creighton. Of course, only 1-0 here. That ball is given away. But the Central Jaguars will still feel that they are still in this one. They do have the quality, so they will fancy themselves to be able to get back in, and that's well kept in there by Springer out on the far side. Can he find a ball inside? It's deflected. It's actually great work coming back there. I think it was Jabari Johnson again. He has been working up and down that flank. Really has impressed this game. Driving forward was Chad Alonso, but I think he showed a little bit too much of the ball there. And in the end was cleaned up. By Jelani Cielto. Alonso throws it in. Robertson turns in the midfield. And it's well intercepted there by Shaquille Huggins, who himself has been having a great game. That's a wonderful recovery though by Dante Cooper to win back possession for his team. Fletcher into Danzel. All the way out wide to Tajay Commission, who slips it through nicely. But Valentine couldn't control, but Johnson again working hard and swings in a decent looking ball, but it's cleared away once again by Morris. And Batiste, I think that was the one who couldn't keep it under control. They are going to have to improve their play in the final third here at the Central Jaguars if they do want to break down this Western Eagles defense. It is a very well-drilled Western Eagles defense. It is going to take some creativity, some quick passing to really slice through them. And that's a nice pass there from Robertson into Boyce. What can he make out of this one here? He's rolling the ball, he's dancing, and he tries to slip it through. But it does get through to Alonso here, who has an opportunity. He does well, but again, The Western Eagles defense having none of it. And it is cleared away for Central Jaguars through. But they're going to need a lot more of that out of the Jaguars. They're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit in the attack, definitely. This man here will have to be one of the players alongside Dante Cooper, who will be the ones who have to create. And that's a nice run from Robertson, who tries to turn. And it bubbles up on him, and I think in the end he handled it actually. And there's a free kick for the Eagles. The Jaguars have responded well. They have started off this half on a decent note. They have started off on the front foot. So Damian Cooper, Nyron Jones will be pleased with what they have seen thus far in this second half. But they definitely do expect the boys in blue to produce a little more. CL2 turning in the left back position. It's a poor giveaway. An opportunity here for Connell. He's in on goal and slices it wide with his left foot. Really had a golden opportunity here. Did Kevon Connell, and he just couldn't get the connection he wanted. It was a poor giveaway from CL2. He stayed on the ball a little too long. Connell actually did well initially to read the danger and get onto the ball, but just didn't get the connection he wanted. And Marlon Carrington sits down and breathes a sigh of relief. And that's another giveaway from the Eagles. That's two poor giveaways in a short space of time, and Tajay Kamisiong trying to whip that one in, but again, no trouble done, no harm done, no fear instilled into Marlon Carrington. And it is another goal kick here for Eagles, another poor giveaway, but Kamisiong just couldn't capitalize on the mistake. Kaleem Young, that's a risky ball, but I think he was fouled by Chad Alonso, who immediately apologizes. It wasn't intentional at all. And the Western Eagles committing some bodies forward here for this free kick here, and it is Morris who's taking it. Launch forward, but there was a foul there, I think by Kareem Batiste. And seems to be on the ground there, I'm not sure. Joel Davidson does have to call for the physios. Making their way across. Stayed on the ground for a long while there. Actually Creighton, not Creighton, over there, who's helping out. And as we are reminded in the first game of this doubleheader on a Monday night, the Carinad Pirates did win 6-1 in that first game over the Arima Kings. So definitely a huge thrashing there. The Arima Kings coming out on the losing end. Still being attended to here. Really doesn't look good, too good there for Tajay Kamisiong. But we do hope that he's okay. He's back on his feet. He seems to have collected a harsh knock, but he is walking. So that's always a good sign. He's running now. And the physios again doing their job well, as Creighton looks to resume play.
Back to this game, it is at this point in time,
and we are back here on the play. And it's played out wide here into Boyce. Mark Robertson on the overlap. Chad Alonso also on the overlap, but well recovered there. Well covered there by the Western Eagles. As we said, their defense has been pretty solid, pretty disciplined. And it is a... I'm not sure if it's a corner or throw in here for the Jaguars. Chad Alonso seems to be on the same page as I am. But it is a throw in the end. Here is Alonso, does well to get away from his man. Here is Creighton, who whips it in and should be collected easily by Marlon Carrington, who releases his team forward, but it's skewed. And Johnson, oh, that's nice control from the lad. And he plays it inside nicely, looking for the 1-2. Here's Jabari Johnson. I think he was forced a little bit wide there, but does eventually get across, but it's well blocked by Springer. Here is Dante Cooper, who does very well to keep possession into Johnson. This is nice play from the Jaguars. Can they convert it into something? Young with a strike, and again, straight into the hands of Marlon Carrington, who again tries to release his team. And it is none other than Kareem Batiste who's under this one, but that's a good recovery from Tajay Young, who is back on the field after that knock he picked up. So good to see him back to full fitness. Both teams yet to make any substitutions, of course. It'll be interesting to see the kind of subs that these coaches do make. Here is Danzel. Plays it out wide to Alonso. Oh, and just played a little bit too behind there. Ballantyne, I think he wanted it played in front to run onto it, really. A nice skill in the midfield there from Adley. Alonso. Oh, that's a nice turn from Caleb Boyce, who I think was fouled initially. And Joel Davidson eventually does give the foul after playing the advantage. And the Western Eagles do seem to be making a double change here. It looks as if it's going to be Matthew Waldron, the number 7, and Jamil Hardy, who will be coming on for the Eagles. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Adley, as well as I think that is Kaleem Young, who has made way as well here for the Western Eagles. So the first dip in the pocket of the two coaches here as Robertson whips it in, and it's flicked on very beautifully as well by Connell. Here's Dante Cooper on top of the box. That's a good play from him, just coming out of the traffic, didn't see any options forward and just decided to keep possession for his team. That's mature play from the lad. Here is Young, plays it out wide to Johnson. That's intercepted nicely though by Springer, who is fouled. That's good work from him.
Number 7 and Walker. The second substitution for the and Waldron.
Here is Marlon Carrington on the ball. He has been pretty composed on his feet and just showing it there again under some pressure there by the Jaguars boys, but was never phased. There was the number 22 for the Western Eagles, who of course did come in to replace the injured Kern Caesar, who picked up an injury in the last game against the Sour Steelers. Here is Danzel looking for options. Looks up and sees Chad Alonso.
So number 15, replace number 12, number 15, Jamil P. Replacing
here is Connell.
Jesus Adley.
He's trying to find some. That's a nice dummy there from Mark Robertson, but Ballantyne probably thought he was offside. I'm not sure. He too left it, but it was a good idea though from the Jaguars. Just hasn't worked out as yet for them. They still do have a lot of time, only 1-0 down, so they do definitely have a foot in this game. They have been the better team in the second half so far, so definitely their coach Damian Cooper alongside Myron Sill have been able to inject some sort of positivity into these guys because they have responded well, working hard. As you can see there again, Mark Robertson really is eager since the first half actually, and it's just continued in the second. Here is Connell on the ball. That's a nice touch from Cooper, collected it well, and he does well to beat his man. Can he find that killer pass through into Tajay Young, who has a strike? And again, Marlon Carrington, that's a nice save on his near post, but it's better from the Central Jaguars. Again, Dante Cooper with a creative pass through, as we see it again here. beats his man, slips in Commission, who on that left foot of his strikes it, but at the near post, Marlon Carrington had it covered. And it is actually going to be a substitution as well for the Central Jaguars. Jabari Johnson coming off. He did have a great game, did Johnson, but he is replaced by Alexis Blackwell.
Substitution for the Central Jaguars. Leaving the field of play number 19, Jabari Johnson. Being replaced by number 6, Alexis Blackwell.
And the Western Eagles just passing around the ball here. They have been second best in the second half so far. And another loose play from them there. Central Jaguars really have responded excellently. Damian Cooper clapping on the side of the field there. He's impressed with his team's performance since the restart. But they still haven't been able to get the ball in the back of the net, which is what they need to do if they want to get something out of this game. Here's Alonso. It's stolen by Kareem Batiste, and this could be problem. Oh, and well read by Dancel. Oh, that's an important interception. I'll tell you what, Kareem Batiste was on his bike, and usually when he's on his bike, there's no stopping him, and he recovers. Dancel, limited options. He's screaming at his team because he thought that it was limited. That's nice composed play from Tor Fletcher once again. Creighton spreads it out nicely to Dancel, who is pushed by Hardy, the substitute. He wants to get on with it. And it looks as if another substitution has been readied up here for the Western Eagles, and it looks as if it's going to be number 8, Shaquille Hazel, who's coming on. And it looks as if Shaquille Huggins is going to be the one to make way. Of course, Huggins did provide the assist for Kareem Batiste in the first half. Did have a decent game, did Huggins. But maybe Alistair Ramdu just wants to rest his players a little bit. He knows he's already through to the quarters, doesn't want to risk any injury. Doesn't want to get his players fatigued or anything like that. So you can understand the substitution. There's a nice ball in there. And Cielto was watchful, did well in the end. No nonsense defending from him. And it's a corner for the Central Jaguars. It was actually a teasing ball in there from Tajay Commission, who has been in the action. And it is actually going to be Dancel who is going to take this one for the Central Jaguars. And it swung in, beats almost everybody. Robertson got ahead to it though. But in the end it comes to nothing. Goal kick for the Western Eagles. Trying to play out from the back here, the Eagles. Oh, and that's risky stuff. To clear it away, they had to be watchful. And it's given away, that's nice. Interception by Dante Cooper, plays it through again, but watchful was Morris. Here is Springer. And they work it out well in the end, do the Western Eagles. Ball played over the top. It's Walker who's chasing it down, but Creighton comes across. Walker still in possession of it though. And the Western Eagles get their first chance of the second half. Or first. Dancing through, and that's going to be a foul. Creighton committing that foul there. An opportunity here for the Eagles to regroup and get back something in the second half. They have been pretty quiet. Nice skill there on the far side. Creighton standing his ground, but it was a bit of obstruction. And it is a free kick here for the Western Eagles. They don't seem to be too eager. It actually looks like Kareem Batiste is probably going to have another strike because only one orange jersey in the box. They're now starting to move forward are the Western Eagles. It was initially just Matthew Waldron who was there, but they have committed some bodies forward now, and Kareem Matisse is over this one, and he strikes it. It was actually decent, but not enough to trouble Tor Fletcher. Connected well with it there did Kareem Matisse, looking for his second goal of the game. As always, high. Blackwell into Danzel, who launches it forward again. Cielto flicks it on back to Morris. Cornell there, Dante nicking his pocket, but in the end, Western Eagles, oh, and he gets it back again. Here does Dante Cooper. Will he have a shot? He does strike it, but it's well blocked again by the Eagles, and that's a nice ball out wide here to Kareem Matisse. The flag stays down on the far side. What can they do here? Can the Eagles? It's an overlapping run. Oh, that's some great pace shown there from Waldron, but he just couldn't find that pass back into Kareem Matisse. Bursting pace there. The fresh legs of Matthew Waldron, and the Jaguars actually have an opportunity to counter-attack. Here's Connell. Whipped in again by Commission, and Marlon Carrington with some great goalkeeping. He's struggling to get back. Oh, and this could be problems here for the Eagles. Dante Cooper battling, keeps it well. Here's Commission again. Can he find another dangerous ball on the inside? He whips it in. Oh, and just couldn't make the connection there. I think it's actually Caleb Boyce who was in there, just couldn't get a foot on it. But the Central Jaguars are definitely on the prowl. Commission with two great balls on the inside, but it just couldn't be finished off. And the substitution here for the Western Eagles, and it is going to be Adrian Millett coming on for Glenn Walker. And as I did mention, the substitution of Alexis Blackwell coming into that defense there, Jabari Johnson, has given Tajay Commission the freedom to roam on that left-hand side. He has been producing some quality and had some good strong play in the midfield from Connell. Can he find a pass through? Here's Boyce. Into Cooper, who has a strike on the left foot, but it was always rising. There was little to no backlift on that one. Actually impressive to see how he made such a great connection, but just lacked the accuracy. As you see the play here again, it's nice from Boyce. Oh, it's actually not Boyce, but it was Ballantyne there with the great hold-up play and a nice drop off to Dante Cooper. Here is the substitute Blackwell again, trying to find it into Ballantyne, but couldn't get it through, and it's composed again in the back from Morris, who goes back to his keeper, Marlon Carrington, but it's given away. And again, it's given away. And yet again, it's given away. And the Central Jaguars have possession. It's Connell who rolls it out wide. Chachad Alonso. Limited options, but he did well to get through the ball there. But Boyce wasn't equal to it. And Kareem Batiste launches it forward into Miller, who is offside. And his first bit of action sees him having to turn his back to walk after being flagged for offside. Here is Blackwell into Ballantyne, and it is a foul there. Dante Cooper drawing one, and an opportunity once again for the Jaguars to get a ball into the box. It's going to be Danzel again to take it, it seems. And the number 8 for the Central Jaguars is warming up, Keron James. So his introduction seems to be imminent. Danzel floats it over the top. It's a decent ball. Marlon Carrington calls, but he spills it, and he actually made a good save there, even though the whistle had gone. It was Dante Cooper lurking on top of the box. Carrington actually did get a block on that one as well, but I think he was fouled in coming for the ball. And that one is given away. Here is Dante Cooper, who plays it first time into Ballantyne, who was actually onside. The flag stays down once again. Here is Connell, driving into the penalty area. He finds it, cuts it across nicely. Here's Boyce, lays it off to Cooper. Oh, but it's well blocked again by that Western Eagles wall. And actually an opportunity here for them to counter-attack. Here is Matthew Waldron, who launches it over the top, but nobody there for the Western Eagles, who surprisingly haven't been able to get it to click in this second half. The Central Jaguars really have to be given a lot of credit here. They have taken over of this game, but just haven't been able to produce anything as yet in terms of goals. Here is Alonso, plays it in, but again it's well watched, and Morris concedes another corner here, and the Central Jaguars have another opportunity to get the ball into the box. They need to capitalize on one of these. Time is running out. 19 minutes remaining here in the second half. If I will remind you that the Western Eagles have already qualified for the quarterfinals, and they do lead this group with 3 out of 3 wins. Central Jaguars, this is their second to last game of the group stage, as they still have to play the Steelers. And that's actually a good effort there. But it was just wide. Marlon Carrington was scrambling, but was on trouble. And yes, the Central Jaguars, of course, as we see the replay again, hold that thought. Nicely driven ball in. It was actually a decent header, did well. He was absolutely free there. It was just wide. And yeah, the Jaguars do have 3 points on the board, losing to the Western Eagles in their first encounter, 4-2. And beating the Sawa Steelers in their second to have 3 points on the board. In the second game, not the second encounter, of course, they still do have to play the Steelers in this group. They do have a goal difference of 2 to the Central Jaguars. So if they do win this game, and if they are able to beat the Sawa Steelers, they actually can finish on top of the group. They will have to score some goals in order to surpass the goal difference of 7 that the Western Eagles now have. Of course, it was 6 before the game started, but now that they have scored, it would increase. Here is Danzel into Tajay Commission. Cornell, who has drifted out onto this left-hand side. Thought about crossing, but decided to delay. Cooper waiting on top. That's a nice touch away from him. Can he work the angle to get the shot? He plays it into Robertson. Options in the middle, but Robertson just couldn't get it right once again. But it has been much better from the Jaguars. And you do feel that a goal could be coming. Shaquille Long plays it out wide to Matthew Waldron, the second half substitute. Long receives it again in the midfield, and it slipped through, but it's easily read by Danzel, and Cooper recycling the possession. Here's Boyce. Can he turn his man? No. Decides to go back to Alonso. Cooper with a nice touch once again, and it's given away. And cleared upfield by CL2, and cleared outfield by CL2. Ball played out wide there to Creighton. Not out wide, but across the centre back line. And an opportunity here for the... Oh, that's a nicely played ball in by Commission. And missed it there at Ballantyne. Oh, and Tajay Commission looks to the heavens because he knew he delivered a peach there. And Ballantyne just couldn't connect. Really has been causing a lot of problems down that left-hand side, has Tajay Commission. Definitely a wonderful Tactical move by Damian Cooper to free up Commission on the left-hand side. You see it again, a peach. It was on the plate for Kasim Ballantyne, but he just couldn't get the touch. And they get away with another one there, do the Western Eagles. But you do feel that the Central Jaguars are getting closer and closer here. And they do have another free kick here and an opportunity to get the ball into a dangerous area. It's going to be Danzel again, the one standing over it. They have committed a lot of bodies forward. They have the Central Jaguars. We'll see what they can make of this. Looks as if he's going to strike it, actually, Danzel, and he does. It's actually a clean strike, but not clean enough. And Marlon Carrington lays down on that one. Here's Jelani CL2. Into Miller, too. Hasn't seen much of the ball since coming on. Oh, and that's a loose touch. The Jaguars pounce quickly. Creighton heads it back. Here's Chad Alonso. Flicks it over the top. And it's a nice flick on again. And CL2 with some brave defending. Looked like a high boot from Alonso, but seems to have gotten away with it. And it's a throw-in for the Central Jaguars. We see the strike again there from Danzel. It was a decent technique, but not enough on it to trouble Marlon Carrington. And the ball whipped in again. Oh, and it beat Shaquille Phillip. It was a decent ball swung in there, but nobody expected Shaquille Phillip to really miss that one, and nobody was lurking on the back post. So the Western Eagles once again getting away with it, and really haven't said much in this second half of the Eagles, and that pass there reflects their performance thus far. But they do still have the all-important 1-0 lead, of course, that 90th minute goal from Kareem Batiste. Here is Commission trying to work something. Cornell Cooper plays a nice ball out wide here to Alonso. Will he play it first time? No, he decides to take a touch and then crosses it. But again, oh! And Marlon Carrington was watchful. Had to be. Did well in the end, but Chad Alonso crossed it in, and I think he underestimated it a little bit. It was dipping right under the crossbar. Marlon Carrington did well in the end, and it's yet another corner for the Jaguars as we see it again here. Alonso actually put it too close to Carrington, but he did well to just tip it over. And it is another corner here. Danzel comes across once again to take it, whips it in. And it's floated up, and Carrington, oh, he spills it. And an opportunity, and it's slashed into the side netting. Another opportunity goes a-begging for the Central Jaguars. They really have their tails up here, do the Jaguars. So Fletcher has been really a spectator in the second half. Really hasn't had much to do. All the action has been in the Western Eagles half. Of course, he did keep his team 1-0 by putting on some heroics and another strike, and I think it's another corner. It's deflected once again. Cornell with that one there, and it's blocked by the Eagles, and it is going to be a double substitution for the Jaguars, and it is going to be Karen James, who was warming up for a while. As we see the replay, once again Cornell well blocked by Morris, but it is going to be Karen James coming on, as well as Keston Superville. Keston Superville comes on first, and then Karen James finally makes his way onto the pitch. So it actually wasn't a corner. I thought there was a deflection off of that shot from Cornell. Blackwell intercepts in the midfield. Here is Tajay Commission into Cooper, who turns very nicely and plays a good ball too into Mark Robertson. Can he find the ball on the inside there? Nobody lurking on that penalty spot, and it's easily taken away by the Eagles again. Here is Kareem Batiste into Springer. Under good work. That's good work from Mark Robertson. Excellent work. As we approach the 80th minute mark, the Jaguars really have to start scoring now. They're running out of time, and it's swung in once again. It's a decent ball. I think they got into each other's way there. The Jaguars, that's a strike! And Ballantyne finally puts it into the back of the net. Wonderful goal, wonderful finish. And it is 1-1 Finally, Kasim Ballantyne gets it in. It was a hopeful ball on the inside.
Getting the equalizer there.
The two Central Jaguars players got in each other's way. But Kasim Ballantyne took it and struck it beautifully into the bottom corner. Marlon Carrington had absolutely no chance. And the Jaguars are right back in it. They've scored that goal in a very good timing. 10 minutes, pressure back onto the Western Eagles. The Jaguars have been doing most of the talking in the second half. And they've finally been able to convert. That's a great finish from Ballantyne. And the Western Eagles trying to immediately respond.
Number 14, Chad Alonso, being replaced by number 3, Eston Superville.
Here is Dante Cooper. That's a nice ball there into the substitute. And there's an opportunity. He hesitated, did he? But here's Ballantyne on the far post. Oh, and it's off the upright. Mark Robertson again. Backheels it nicely. Oh, and it's danger still there. And it's wide of the post. And another opportunity goes a begging for the Jaguars. But you do sense that the Jaguars are sensing blood here because they do want to come out with the victory. Off the upright there from Ballantyne. Robertson with a clever back heel. It was actually the substitute who was back on top. You see it again there. Carrington was scrambling. Robertson composed. And the Eagles get away with yet another one. Both substitutes being involved there. Both Keston Superville and Keron James. But it stays 1-1. And it's a goal kick for the Eagles. Seems as if Shaquille Phillip is having some issues there. Probably just some sort of cramp. I think he sorts it out in the end there as the Western Eagles captain. But the Western Eagles are definitely being pinned up against a wall here. Millett takes it very nicely and drops it out to Springer. Trying to find back Millett, but Creighton was watchful. Here's Dante Cooper. That's good control from him. Gets away from his man. Can he find that forward pass? No, he decides to go into the midfield. Oh, that's a nice layup there, but just too short for Mark Robertson. Here is Blackwell, who scoops it out. Cielto puts it right into the path of the goal scorer, Ballantyne. Here is Mark Robertson. Oh, he does well there, does Robertson, but he cuts back. And he waits for the whistle, and it is a free kick. Joel Davidson answered the question. The Jaguars really looking to get this victory here. And looks like another substitution is being readied for the Western Eagles. As we see the foul again there, I think there was probably a hand in the face by Morris. Yeah, he did put a hand across Mark Robertson there, didn't he? And it is going to be Kevin Walker.
Springer being replaced by number 17, Kevin Walker.
Who is going to be coming on here for the Western Eagles. I think it's going to be Okechi Springer, who is going to be making way for Walker as the Central Jaguars prepare to take this free kick. And once again, the Jaguars have yet another opportunity to put some more pressure on this Western Eagles defense. And it is going to be the substitute, actually, I think. Or is it? Oh, it looks like it's actually going to be the goal scorer. Kasim Ballantyne maybe might fancy his chances, running high on confidence ever since scoring that goal. And here is Ballantyne. He swings it. Oh, and it's actually blocked by his teammate. And it's heaved away by the Eagles again. Oh, and that's a nice turn. It's good work from Millett. What can he do here? He's looking infield, he's lacking options, and he's quickly closed down, but it's actually a foul. And much to the frustration of the Jaguars, but eager work there by Ballantyne trying to work back. He did hesitate on the ball. Actually, Millett got away with one there because he was looking for an option, and they just invited the challenge of Ballantyne. Long swings it in. Batiste again. Oh, and that's a great save there from Tor Fletcher. Just pickpocketing Kareem Batiste. It's good handling from the young man, because it was a beautiful ball played over the top by Long. A good run as well by Batiste. But Toe Fletcher was watchful and he keeps his team in the game. Here is the goal scorer Ballantyne, and the substitute tries to play it through there. It's Karen James who tried to slip through his strike partner, but they were just not on the same wavelength. Here is Shaquille Long. Hardy. Oh, and that's a hopeful ball and good intervention there from Tajay Commission. Central Jaguars still pressing, still trying to get that second goal, trying to get that 3 points, which will take them up to 6 and which will secure their spot. Actually, a draw will also secure their spot in the quarterfinals, but they do want to finish on a high. They are running high on confidence here. Is Connell. Can he keep it in? He does well too. And he plays it in nicely. It's Robertson. Can he get a strike away? It was just a little bit far in front of him. Oh, and Shaquille Long is fouled there by Mark Robertson, who has been working hard all game. Hasn't been able to get on the score sheet, but has put in a shift there. Has the midfielder for the Central Jaguars alongside Dante Cooper, who has been stringing together some nice passes as well for the boys in blue. Ball played over the top. Millet with some strong play once again, but quickly closed down by a army of Central Jaguars players. Here is Creighton. Can they get that goal here? 3 minutes remaining of normal time. Nice turn again from Millet, but he's quickly closed down by Keron James. Here is Keston Superville. Into Dante Cooper. It's a nice clean turn from him again, but I think he was fouled there by Kareem Matisse, who has been pretty quiet this half. Not something that we say very often, but credit again to the Jaguars. Superville. That's a nice looking ball over the top, but it's way overcooked. And it's another goal kick for Marlon Carrington and the Western Eagles, who will be in no rush to take it, of course. They would be pleased with the draw, although they did lead for so long in the game. I think the performance of the Central Jaguars really has shocked them in the second half. And they would settle for a draw. They do already know that they are through into the quarterfinals, so wouldn't be in too much of a rush to try and do anything too risky. And 2 minutes will be added on, of course. I expect it to be added on. And Creighton plays that one forward, but just behind Commission. And it's good defense in the end from the Western Eagles. Nicely thrown in on, just couldn't get it under control there, could he? Keron James. Launch forward, Mark Robertson picks up the pieces and it's sliced forward by Creighton. And that should be a foul by Hardy. And you do expect them to commit bodies forward here, do the Central Jaguars. But they decide to go short, actually Dancel with a Rabona kick there out to Superville. That's a nice ball, but I think he may be offside there, Keron James. He was. And it's a goal kick. I'm not sure if Joel Davidson will give the goal kick or the free kick for the offside, but I think he did blow his whistle, so it will be a free kick to the Eagles. I think if it does stay a 1-1, it has been a tale of two halves. I think the Western Eagles, with the first goal in the first half, they probably just did have the edge. And in the second half, of course, the Jaguars have been the far superior team and they have scored. So you can't say that each team has won each of the halves, and a 1-1 result maybe fair in the end, but still trying to get something here. The Jaguars, Damian Cooper on the sideline here, disappointed there, and that is the final whistle there. Joel Davidson signals it, and it is going to end in a 1-1 draw here. It does mean, however, that the Central Jaguars have booked their spot in the quarterfinals of this GA Super Cup. The Sour Steelers, of course, have been eliminated because the Jaguars now sit on 4 points. The Western Eagles on 10. So they remain unbeaten at the top of Group A. And of course, the Jaguars still do have one more match to play against the Steelers, but they can no longer finish on top of the group, only being able to get a maximum of 7 points. But nevertheless, it was an entertaining game in the first half. The Western Eagles did capitalize on the chance that they got Kareem Batiste with a 19-minute strike, a lovely touch over the top of Tor Fletcher, who finished it well, did Kareem Batiste. Tor Fletcher did have a good game though in the first half. Did have to put together some great saves off of an attack of the Western Eagles to keep it at 1-0. In the second half, Damian Cooper and Nyron Sill definitely did an amazing job in changing the tactics, instilling motivation, or motivating their players rather. And the Central Jaguars definitely responded well, and they were rewarded for their efforts. Kasim Ballantyne with a lovely left-footed strike in the bottom corner, and that made it 1-1. Some good saves by both keepers actually. Marlon Carrington did deliver when called into action, and in the end I think it is a fair result. Both teams sharing the points. So at the end of this second game here in our Monday doubleheader in the GA Super Cup, it is a 1-1 draw between the Jaguars and the Western Eagles. My name is Liu Chen. It has been an absolute pleasure being with you for this one. Before I do go, I will just remind you that the first game did end in a 6-1 thrashing of the Arima Kings by the Carenage Pirates. And that is it from us here on the GA Super Cup in the Marvin Lee Stadium tonight. And from us all here, we do say good night.